So this is Joshua Hart from JTH Boxing, and today I'm joined by Brad Raya. Brad, first of all, thank you for coming on today. How are we doing?
Yeah, anytime, mate. Yeah, all good, all good. Thanks for having me.
So obviously, let's get straight into things. Last time out, you fought for the English title against Tyler Denny. It wasn't your fight. Obviously, it wasn't meant to be. What did you learn in defeat?
Yeah, so I think I took a lot away from that fight, to be honest. Like I say, it's probably my first title fight, my first 10 rounder, um, and there was a lot of questions asked, and for me, it was kind of back to the drawing board after it. I enjoyed the fight, although it didn't go my way, and I just want to get back in there, really. Like you say, take what I've kind of learned from that first defeat, and put it back to good use. And unfortunately, I've been out injured since the fight. Otherwise, I would have liked to get out kind of as soon as possible afterwards, get back to winning ways. But I've been out injured for a little bit, but on the mend now, back in the gym, and hoping to get some news soon.
Obviously, while it wasn't your night, you did show things that we hadn't seen before. You're not being pushed the way you were against Tyler Denny. And after obviously, not having a lot of success in the ninth round, you found something where you just got him with like a body shot or something, and you nearly had him out there in the ninth. So obviously, while you didn't get the victory, there was definitely things that we hadn't seen from you that we can now say he's got that in him. Because obviously, I hadn't had that big test yet. Tyler was that big test. He's on a great run of form and he's still going now. I think he's fighting in May on the Buatsi show. So obviously, it's not like it was a complete upset. It was against a very good opponent. Could you go into detail about the injury that happened? So that's kept you out for a while because the fight was back in what, November?
Yeah, so it was a fractured metacarpal, so a broken hand. Like I say, I'm literally just the past 2 3 weeks I've been back punching with it properly. So it's been frustrating, to be honest. It's like I say, I would like to kind of get back in there straight away after the loss and got back to winning ways, and I've not been able to. But yeah, it's a painful one. So, but like I say, it's part of the job. It's part of the job. And I've said as well, it's no excuse. I'm not using it as an excuse. I don't. I think I actually broke my hand in the ninth round, but end of the ninth round. So I was already getting well beat anyway. So it's no excuse. But like you say, I've been quite lucky in my career so far. I've not really had any injuries of anything. So it's been frustrating. But I'm glad to kind of put that behind me now and get back to work.
So obviously, you say you're getting back into training now. How have these first couple of weeks back in training been for you so far? Are you definitely back on the mend to full fitness and hitting the ground running soon?
Yeah, it's been a bit bad, to be honest, because like I said, it's I've never really had this long out of training. I'm usually always in the gym, and where I have been in the gym, I have been taking over, I have been training, but it's just not the same one-handed. And the first few sessions were a bit of a wake-up call, but kind of getting back to it now, and I can feel my fitness picking up, and my weight's dropping, and like I say, I'm just building towards kind of getting back sparring and stuff, because I think that'll be the real answer to is my hand 100%, and am I back to full fitness?
I'm guessing obviously you don't want to rush into anything, but in an ideal world, when would you like to get back in the ring and resume your career?
Yeah, so like you say, I don't want to rush anything. I don't want to do any further injury to my hand and kind of end up out for longer. I've got in my head end of May, start of June. Um, I think Boxer have said they want me out in a six rounder. And then for me, ideally, I'd like to have a six rounder. Get back to winning ways, and then I'm happy 4 or 5 weeks later. Sometime in July to get back in there at a big fight. A 10 rounder against another kind of well ranked opponent, kind of similar level as me, and get myself back on track. But I don't know if that's just wishful thinking and what I'm thinking in my head, and I don't make the plans. I kind of just do as I'm told. So I need to have a proper sit down with the team and see what the plan is. But for me, that would be the ideal scenario.
Um, so what was I going to say? Deary me, my head's gone blank again. What's going on? Um, that was it. So we after the sixth round, I'd like in obviously against Denny. Did you feel like you belonged at that level, or do you reckon there's still a few things to learn before you push back on that level?
No, definitely. I think when I'm at my best, I can mix it with kind of anyone at that level in my division. I'd love another shot at Tyler. I'd love another fight with Tyler, and like you say, he's looking at pushing on for that British, which you don't blame him at all. He deserves that chance now. He can't wait around forever. So I know if that's a fight that I'd want, I'm going to have to earn it. I'm going to have to win fights, which get me in a position where that rematch can happen. But I think considering for me it was a bad performance. I didn't really feel out of place. I feel like on my night, I can mix it at that level and win at that level.
Obviously, you also showed great amount of respect after the fight. You also gained a lot of respect from people because in defeat you didn't talk anything. You showed the utmost respect to Tyler, and even for weeks after the fight, you still continued to show that respect. And I saw on your Twitter the other week, when it got announced that he wasn't getting the British title shot, you said about something that like he was mentally prepared to not get the shot. And I spoke to Tyler last week, and again he said he kind of knew that he wasn't going to get the shot and said that he's not going to go for Conway. Do you feel he deserves that British title shot now? Because it's undeniable he's on a brilliant run of form.
Yeah, I think he definitely does, and I think he's been hard done by again. I seen the other day that Shearaz is injured as well, and I think he's seen he won't be fighting till after summer or around that time. So that Bentley Shearaz fight won't be happening until then. So it's just even longer for him to wait. And like you say, I don't know how many eliminators he's had, Tyler, but I know I was definitely one. I think the Brad Paul fight was one, and then Kieran Conway is a tough fight for a final eliminator. He's boxed at a very good level. Um, and I just think he deserves a little bit of luck, and like you say, he's deserved a chance now for that British title shot. But like I say, it's boxing, it's
That's,
boxing, and
yeah, that's the
does it
thing.
that way.
That's the thing. Obviously, I think he definitely said. I think he said he fought you in an eliminator just to get put in Brad Paul's as another eliminator. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, he's done two Brads in two fights. Went from you, went straight on to Brad Paul's. It's just he's just wiping out all the Brads, really, isn't he, at the moment as well?
I don't think there's anyone else named Brad. You better stay clear of him, man. There.
Obviously, moving on. I just want to get your thoughts about Fury versus Usyk. Obviously, we think we're getting an announcement in the next few days now. Frank Warren said last night after Arsenal went 8 points clear, there's some even bigger news coming. A lot of people think it's going to be Fury versus Usyk. Do you think that fight's too soon to be made for April 29th, or do you reckon it's already made and they're just trying to build up even more interest in the fight, even though there's already plenty?
Yeah, I think if the fight happens on that day, I think the both fighters have known for a while that the fight's happening on that day. I think they both will have been training towards that date. I've seen Fury putting videos out saying he only needs 6 weeks and this and that, and I think that's just Fury being Fury. I think they've both been in training camp for a while, aiming for that date. But um, I think they're leaving it a little bit late, but it's a fight that sells itself, and it doesn't need big hype and it doesn't need big promotion. It's the two best in the world who are going to be going at it, and it sells itself.
What's your prediction for that fight? After speaking to a couple of people, a lot of people are starting to think maybe an Usyk on a close decision. Some people think Fury might catch him and stop him. What do you think for that? What's your prediction?
I think Usyk can cause him major, major trouble. Um, but I think Fury's size is just going to be the deciding factor. I think Fury's size and his weight, and he knows how to use it. It's like AJ had the size advantage and the weight advantage over Usyk, but he didn't really use it. It might not be pretty, but I think Fury will use that to his advantage, and I think he'll get the job done.
And then finally, what's the message to the people out there who are waiting for your return? What do you have to say to all the people who have been supporting you through this period?
Yeah, just big thank you to everyone for the support and for the patience. I think every couple of days I'm getting someone, when's the next fight, when's the next fight, and I really wish I had an answer for him. I wish I had a date, and I wish I had tickets for him to all buy. I think everyone's just after a big piss up. I think a big night out. But yeah, be patient a little bit longer. Like I say, I'm getting back to work now, and hopefully it won't be too long. We can get a date boxed in and get a fight set.
Brad, thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it. And yeah, cheers.
Top man, nice one.